You bring your total self to a whole new country. Now what?
Then you realize that the only thing that's going to change you is you. Right now, you're just the same old you in a brand new place. We're Chris and Jackie, and you are tuned to Aprende Más, our series on small town San Miguel, the things that you're going to learn outside of the tourist video.
Hey.
And what we're going to talk about today is the idea that you're going to come here and everything's going to be different. You're going to be a new you. All that old you that was back home is not going to come with you. I'm going to be slimmer. I'm going to be smarter. I'm going to be healthier.
You're going to sit on the couch and eat a taco.
Right? You're going to find every bakery in the neighborhood and get you an orange glazed donut.
What's going to change is that it went from Krispy Kreme to Panina.
A lemon-filled Bombolina? You better believe it. So, there's this perception that I think anytime you kind of leave one environment and come into a new environment, that environment is going to have this positive effect on you. Or maybe even you're thinking it's going to have a negative effect on you, so maybe you stay away from it. But, the idea that things around you are going to change you. But the truth is, the only thing that's really going to change you is you. All those changes that you supposedly are going to make when you get to Mexico, you should have made those back home before you came.
For the record.
Because particularly in this town, San Miguel de Allende, there are hills all over the place, cobblestone. So just walking around town is a workout.
Mm-hmm.
And plenty of people will be like, hey, when I got here, I lost 20 pounds. And that was probably until they found all the restaurants and the goodies at the taco stands, and you gain all that 20 pounds back. If you're somebody that's healthy and active at home, you'll be healthy and active here.
That's true.
But for us in particular, we live on a hill.
Muy subida.
Cinco de Mayo.
Right?
Has plenty of things, plenty of reason for you to go down that hill and get some things.
Right.
But when it comes time to walk back up that hill,
Taxi,
Uber, Didi.
Right.
I will hang off the back of your motorcycle.
Please
just get me up that hill.
Please and thank you.
And we both need to be walking up that hill.
Yeah, we do.
And we might do it every once in a while, every once in a blue moon. But we have not changed our habits at all when it comes to exercise.
It's true.
Well,
I did join a dance class.
You did.
We went on a hiatus because our teacher's on break. Mm-hmm. But still, it's not going to slim me and trim me. It'll just keep me not dying. But we got to decide to change.
So along with that, food and exercise tend to come together. And I think about the food here is healthier in general, right?
Yes.
Like there's less pesticides, there's less food additives if you avoid, the things that are brought down from America for the most part.
Affordable organics
organics for sure. The organics basically cost what the normal stuff does back home. Correct. So if you want to go to the extra level of getting organic, you can get that as well.
And fresher and less, fresher. I'll say fresher.
Fresher, yeah.
Right? And less sugar for a lot of things. Like I'm on that green juice a lot because it's fresh squeezed, right? So it's fresh pressed.
Yeah.
And it's $1.50.
Yeah.
No sugar added.
Yeah.
It's just fresh vegetables and fruit. It's a
thing. So if we talk about, this morning you wanted me to go to the store.
I did.
And what you did is you actually ordered some bread from the bakery.
See?
You'll put that thought ahead for baked goods. Items like that. Have you pre-ordered vegetables or fruits from anyone?
Yeah, China berry. See? You got on that bus and he started it, cranked it up, and oh, okay. Yo, how are you gonna throw me under the bus?
I just pulled the bus up and opened the door and allowed you to jump in. You're welcome.
I'm gonna wait for the next bus. Thank you very much. China Berry
Next
Farms.
bus don't come for 45 minutes.
Thank you. That's all right. I'll wait.
Wait outside in the cold.
Uber.
In Iowa.
Anyway, the answer to his question
degrees.
is yes. I have China Berry Farms. Thank you very much.
Yeah.
Okay.
And that brings to a point of you're thinking you're gonna walk everywhere. And then you realize Rappy can bring everything to my front door.
Yep.
So where you might have gotten up and gotten in a cab or walked down the hill, which is like, to get to the grocery store here is like
20-minute walk.
Maybe 20 minutes. If you're feeling frisky, 10, 15 minutes at the most. It's not a hard walk, and it's all downhill. But sometimes you don't feel like making that walk.
So Rappy is our Instacart.
Yeah. Well, Rappy is like everything. Like Rappy has financial services,
Really?
Uber type stuff, Uber Eats type stuff, Instacart. Like
Oh, okay.
Rappy can run your entire life if you want Rappy to.
Bookmark that app for later to search it out.
Yeah, you can get a Rappy card, like a credit card kind of thing.
Really?
Rappy is on it.
Okay, go ahead.
Yeah.
I was just telling the people that that's an app we can use to order our groceries.
For sure.
And food too, restaurant food.
And you can literally say, hey, Rappy, go to a place that's not on your list and get me something. I have an order waiting.
That's
go pick
right.
it up.
They're like a
Rappy will
delivery
do whatever
service.
they want to do, whatever you want to do. Like,
Okay.
so it is
Yeah.
very much geared to being a service provider.
Mm-hmm.
So if you don't feel like putting in any effort to go to the grocery store, they will do your shopping for you.
Which is aiding and abetting a person like you. The introvert, the known introvert of this team here.
I think that's just, smart management of life to me. When they're going down and getting my groceries, I can be accomplishing other things at the same time. You know what I mean? Like watching the latest episode of The Gilded Age. You know what I mean? There's just plenty of things I need to get done in my life that they can help with. But in general, we're talking about, making life easier on yourself and the things that you're really not going to change when they get here. Unless you want to.
Right.
If you really want to, if you really see a value in the exercise and getting out and eating healthier, then you'll probably make that change. I can't say that I've made a whole lot of change just yet since I've been here. Pretty much been myself. I've been true to me the whole time. You know what I'm saying?
I've been living my truth. Yes, you have, honey.
Thank you.
You have.
Yes. Well, I've changed some of my eating habits a little bit. I had oatmeal for breakfast this morning. Could have had greasy bacon and eggs and all that stuff, but no. I had oatmeal. High fiber, good for the heart. Thank you. There is no response needed. There's absolutely no response needed. So, something else that really has not changed in people that come here is bias.
Mhm.
Is a little bit of racism, is a little bit of prejudice. So San Miguel being a high percentage of Americans, Canadians, we have a growing black community, but you're still kind of outnumbered by, I think, older white folks here.
Right.
Many of which are cool. It's been a hippie community, so like plenty of liberal-minded people. But there's still some folks that wear the red hat that come on down here that don't like people of color. So not just black people, but brown people, which always surprises me that you would move to Mexico.
Confusing.
All these brown people around here, and you don't like brown people. So some people bring their hatred with them. And the hope is that maybe some of this, San Miguel tranquilo lifestyle will cool you out. And you can just relax and be, a fun-loving, non-hating self, but it doesn't happen that way.
It works, but we'll see.
It does not.
Yeah. But we've come with biases too.
Absolutely.
I've had to change. The funny thing is, I had to change.
I think you have, gotten rid of some of your biases for sure. I see your bias around Mexican music opening up a little bit, just a little bit. It ain't fully there yet, but you're understanding it a little bit more. I think also like in restaurants, an interesting thing, the flow of service in a restaurant. Because you are, Cheesecake Factory trained server, like everything has to be in its proper place at its proper time. And I got to greet the table within 5 seconds.
Very systematic.
Very systematic. And here, service is not that way at most places. Right. They're like, I'm going to get to you when I get to you.
Seat yourself.
Come in. It's very relaxed. There's no rush. Which for me, I love just being laid back and they come back whenever they come. But those who want a more structured eating experience, they kind of need that formula of, okay, this is how I come to some kind of flow of service. So how are you adjusting to the flow of service here?
I'm adjusting well.
Okay.
We can move on. No, I am. Wouldn't you say? I mean, So I'm working on it.
I would say you're being quiet more so than adjusting.
Thank you.
Which is an adjustment in and of itself.
Correct.
You don't have to complain about something that you see is wrong, which is not wrong.
I am working on it. And I think the biggest adjustment when it comes to my internal change is not taking things personal.
Yeah.
That's the biggest thing for me.
Yeah, because
that's the biggest thing.
They are actually more personal in some ways, right? Like if they're at a table and they're having a conversation and we're chopping it up, like they're not in any rush to get away and get to the other people that they have to serve.
That's true.
I'm going to finish this conversation. We're going to talk about what we need to talk about.
Right.
And then when I'm done, I'm going to come over to you and get you a Coke or whatever it is that you need.
Right.
It's not so much of like them feeling like they're missing out on everyone else. It's that they're valuing this one-on-one.
That time with you. Same in the grocery store.
Yeah.
Because you'll be like, Miss Cashier, Mr. Cashier, it's time to look, wrap this up. But they're like, I'm talking to my customer.
Right.
So we have to wait.
Yeah.
You know, so it takes some time to get used to.
It does.
And I used to think that what I thought were white, you know, traditional white people ignoring me and I said that they were trying to speak to me in Spanish, so they wouldn't have to speak to me in English, right? But come to find out, who appears to be white are actually Spanish-speaking Europeans, right? Or more Caucasian-looking Mexicans.
It's called reverse racism.
There it is. So I'm thinking,
there's no such thing as reverse racism. Racism is racism.
Right.
Yeah,
So I'm thinking they're ignoring me, but I'm like, oh, they're actually speaking to me in their language and just saying, good morning, buenos dias. And I'm like, oh, buenos dias. So I had to change my way of thinking that a white person isn't avoiding me. They actually were just speaking. So I need to calm down, calmate.
And we don't even think about the fact that that divide between white and not white is in every country. It's not an American ideal. It is a global ideal. So you can be Mexican, but you can also be white.
Correct.
But it's an interesting dynamic to come here and you see a white person and you assume they're American or Canadian gringo. And they're like, no, I've been here for generations.
Correct.
My people are Spanish.
Right.
We've kind of worked our way out of the indigenous community and now we're white.
Yeah.
Which is an interesting dynamic in and of itself.
And we don't know all the intricacies.
Right.
But what I know is that I need to fix my attitude.
Yes.
And not think that they're avoiding me.
You do need to fix your attitude.
I think we need to take a break or end this episode. Please like, comment, subscribe. Let us know where you are. And because we want to keep up with you guys.
And if there's something that you said you were going to change when you got here that you did or did not do, let us know what that is. What was that thing you're trying to work on that you thought Mexico was going to help you do that you ain't really do? Right. So again, ring that notification bell, go watch another video, and
Cuídate.
peace, y'all.